Well, welcome back. So now that we know that leaders have a mission and a purpose, we learned that yesterday, but they don't just have that. They have stakeholders. They have individuals that they lead and individuals that they serve in the fulfillment of that mission. Now, we must be clear about who you lead and who you serve. I want to use today to help you identify who they are. We're going to go broad, and then we're going to get really specific in the next lesson. And we do this so that you can understand how to lead and serve those distinct stakeholders. I really love the line of Gandhi. There they go. I must follow them, for I am their leader. Listen, as we mentioned early on in the list of competencies, it's so important for us to recognize that we are enlisting people that we need to fulfill our mission every single day. It's up to us to serve them, to be generous to them, and as a result, to invite them in to followership. To be a great leader, you need to keep two things in mind at all times. The question of who, we mentioned that, which is who in terms of the individuals, who are they? And then empathy for where they are and how you can help them get where they want to go. I'm going to say this again. Empathy for where they are and how you can help them get there, and they may not even know where they want to go yet, right? So that's so important for us. I've always gone quickly to the question who. This has sort of been the essence of my brand and my work. If I have a goal that I want to achieve, some dream that I have, I always ask the question who? Who are the individuals that I need to work with to get there? Because it's other people that will help you formalize your vision. It's other people that will help you achieve your vision. That's what leadership is about, right? We need to build a plan to get there with and for others. So this important question of who and stakeholders, I'm going to be spending more time on. In fact, 2 entire modules as a result. So this includes both the people that you serve, but it also about the people that you lead, about your customers, about your vendors, your constituents. All of them are important because it's all the same. It's an interdependent set of relationships that you as a leader need to foster and manage for this whole ecosystem that you are leading to achieve what you're trying to achieve. But this isn't new. I mean, this idea has always been around in Good to Great, which is a mainstay of leadership books, written by a friend of mine, Jim Collins, actually. He refers to getting the right people on the bus. Now, back then, most of that just meant hiring, right? Who are the individuals that we need to hire? But they mean hiring. We mean the recognition and the enlistment of multiple interdependent groups of people and what we call networks of people, independent of whether they work for us or have formal relationships with us. The point that I'm making is the vision of team and the vision of stakeholders are all of the individuals that matter to getting something done. So let's look at your stakeholders specifically. You came in to this work together with a vision of why you wanted to be a better leader, where you wanted to apply that leadership, what you might want to achieve. The stakeholders are individuals and groups you need to engage in order to co-create and to achieve your mission. Who are those individuals? We're going to be writing these down. These are individuals with a vested interest in your success. So as a result, you need to invest in them, and they will invest in you. They're the people with many different kinds of capital. What I mean by that is they have intellectual capital. Your constituents, your stakeholders have intellectual capital, those with ideas that you don't have. Wherever you can find them, unbound by organization charts and boundaries. Remember, leading without authority. In my own world, as I started moving from one type of business to another, there are entire sets of individuals that knew that world that I didn't know. So they are on your team and they are critical stakeholders. There are those who have actual resources that you don't have, right? Unbounded by organization and company boundaries, they actually have resources that you need to achieve what you're trying to achieve. And I don't care if they report to a different division. I don't care if they're not even in your company or in your organization. Where are the resources and who are the individuals that have those resources? Now, those with connections are also important constituents. People have social capital. People can open doors for you, right? In Never Eat Alone, my first book, one of the things I always suggested is that we align with connectors, people who are capable of opening doors to other individuals. Who are the most important connectors for you in what you're trying to achieve? And of course, just simple resources like investors. And those investors may be money, very specific people who may be contributing dollars for what you're trying to achieve, or other types of resources that may be less specifically monetary. They may be others with complementary missions too, people who have aligned missions to yours. Don't think of them as competition. You need to work hard not to see them as competition. Be abundant, be expansive. These are individuals that you can share, you can co-create. I'm so excited about the new world of abundance thinking in leadership, as opposed to the constraints of each of us thinking that if somebody's in the same space as us, they're a competition. I swear you will stay small with that mindset. Now, they may be people that you choose to serve, your customers, right? And they may be individuals more broadly. I mean, in my organization, I serve leaders of large organizations. They are my customers. But at the same time, I never forget those little kids sitting at the dining table like I was at 8 years of age, whose parents work, whose jobs that I'm working every day to preserve by helping organizations be successful, because those are individuals in society, right? And so I started the movement, as I mentioned earlier, not going back to work, but going forward to work. It's a movement, right? It's a movement to serve workers and save jobs. And therefore, that's a constituency for me. Let's spend a little bit of time talking about diversity, inclusion, and belonging. Now, what I mean by this is not just checking a box and having a diverse population. What I mean by this is you fully understanding how important it is for you to have diverse, rich points of view and opinion into the decisions you're making. If you stay in the narrow box of the people who think like you will not be transformative. You will not be able to achieve the great things you're trying to achieve in this world, because you'll be exactly where you have been. If you keep doing what you've done, you're going to get what you got. If you keep thinking like you're thinking, you're going to get what you've got, not be able to be expansive and move forward. Today, you definitely need broader inclusion to succeed. You can't create big and bold enough by yourself or with a limited definition of team. Let's spend a bit of time on the power of inclusion even more. This is so important, and I don't want to get off of it, because this is where you're defining the way in which you're going to enlist broad stakeholders. I want you understanding this, and it's so important to being a critical new age leader. Now, there are many levels of diversity: race, gender, sexual orientation, geography, experiences, viewpoints, all of them. Diversity is important, but then what's important is inclusion. Getting diverse opinions into the decision-making. We're going to spend so much time explaining and helping, giving you practices on how you can make sure, once you get the right group in the room as a leader, to make sure that you extract the most wisdom, the most value, and the most bold and exponential thinking from them. The benefits of this, of course, is you're going to reduce groupthink that I've talked about. You're going to reduce the idea that you're going to just get what you got. You're going to increase empathy, which is so important for the customers and clients. Your customers and clients are a part of your team. They truly are. You need to fully understand and walk in their shoes. I want you to increase innovation by bold thinking with including more and more of these individuals. Then we are adding a new word to D&I, which is belonging. Now let's pause for this and let's understand that word belonging. Belonging is coming home, right? The role of a leader is to help those individuals crucial to you, feel that they belong, that they are home. Now, how do you prioritize all of these? I've thrown out a lot in terms of what's possible, but how do we consolidate and prioritize? So in what order do you prioritize all of these stakeholders? The answer is it's a strategic choice. This is where your decision of A, B, and C type priorities really comes to roost, because you can't spread the peanut butter too thin across too many types of constituencies. Now, the traditional way of thinking about these was always called the triple bottom line. If you read about it, it's your coworkers, your customers, and broadly society or your communities. But I have a strong point of view of where we start. Our research and the research in the last 10 to 20 years have shown that if you prioritize and start with those closest to you, your coworkers, those individuals that are making it all happen at the epicenter, right? Those individuals that you are officially leading, these are the ones that will have the greatest yield to ultimately you achieving your mission. There's a great American entrepreneur. His name is Danny Meyer of Union Square Hospitality. I met him a number of years ago when I was at Starwood Hotels. He always says, if you put your employees first, then they will put your customers first, right? Take care of your people, and they will take care of your customers and your mission. So what's the mission for today? Today, we looked out to begin to identify all of the groups that are your shareholders and that are your stakeholders. It's a very broad group. The people who follow you and the people you serve are these individuals. This is not about you. It's about an ecosystem and a group of groups. Now, we talked about the different kinds of capital that you will need to achieve your dreams, like intellectual capital, social capital, resources, investments, etc. And I want you, and I asked you to start to prioritize the groups that you serve. Now, I touched on the importance and the benefit of diversity, inclusion, and belonging, and really reaching out. Now let's start to activate on this. I want you to identify, given the dream that you came in here with, the goals that you came in here with, the mission that you came in here with, I want you to identify 3 of the most important groups that matter to you, your 3 most important stakeholders. Don't ever forget that I said your immediate folks that you work with is a critical one. Then I want you to name within that a handful of people that you really want to get to know and build a deeper relationship with from each. We're going to be getting into the systemization of this and really doing this at scale in the next module. But for now, I really want you to focus on those 3 core constituencies and a handful of people that are critical in each. And then what do I want you to do? As always, I want you to turn to your tribe. Discuss with members of your tribe who those critical stakeholders are, who those critical shareholders are, and begin to talk about and give texture to the relationships within each one. Seeing stakeholders clearly, this is a huge step in your leadership journey. It's not just about you. You've got to span out. Diversity, inclusion, belonging, ideation, this will make you bold. This will make you big. This will make your ideas really come to fruition. Soon and next, you're going to be building your team, your real team. I look forward to seeing you there.